my beautiful souls, welcome back to the sanctuary. We're in a different scenery. And actually this is significant to this message because it's all about change and it's all about, space and living your best life. And you could see the large amount of space here that that you could actually live in your environment, right? Because like I said, and like I keep saying, the divine wants us to grow. And so if we are living in environments that are just so compact and we grow as roots, right? Just imagine like a flower that has roots, or like a tree that has roots, right? Our roots, if we're in a small pot, it's compact to the point they grow and they're stuck together. So right now, our roots are just stuck together, and that the divine wants us to have space to grow, to be freed, and to feel this and this new environment that is being brought into our lives, right? Because this message is not only for you, but it's also for me, because this message has been called into my life as well. And so all I'm doing is just relating this message out to the universe, and whoever is guided to hear this message, welcome. This is a sanctuary that you could be yourself and you could honor your inner being and also every aspect of your life. I call everyone my beautiful souls here in this beautiful cozy vibe in this corner of this universe. So the message for today is called, Can I Love Without a Visible picture of a form of divine creation? So, and I wrote down here, can I project the love of my inner void to linger beside me during this transitional phase in my life? Can I detach the physical experience of what love has created in my life in the past to experience a soulful love near my presence without a physical form? Can I let this love take form as a wild, free expression of a free spirit instead of assigning a creation for the love that is being projected out to the universe? Can I dissolve this connection of the picture vision of the form in my mind's eye to feel my inner voice to transform as my wild loving guide? Can I give myself space within this current present moment to run freely as my own spiritual loving form? Can I create a zen state of mind to feel the portal of the universe as I turn into a spirit within this 3D plane of existence of life? Can I love without a creation form of barriers for my spirit to shine love beside me? Can I save the lingering love beside me during this new phase in my life? Can I become my own safe space for my soul to pour out a essence to my love of life? Can I feel the frequency of my loving spirits before this moment turns into a new timeline, because we are all creating new narratives within our life, right? We are the creators to our own life. So, can I feel the frequency of my loving spirits before this moment into a timeline where love is projected as a physical, visible picture of a form to stand beside me in the 3D plane of this existence of life? That is my poem. That's my poem for today. This is the message for today. Can I love myself? That like this is like, right? This is the whole narrative of this message. Can I love myself in this physical form, right? But also love myself in the spiritual form, right? To give myself that loving care also in that spiritual form, right? Because we are both existing in this universal life, right? But we're also existing in different planes of reality, right? Which our spirit form is literally giving us the space to love ourselves again, to be free again, to experience life again, right? Because we're always evolving, and like this is a message for, like, you know, to ones that, you know, that have been cramped up in their little shell, right? And the divine is like calling you to, like, you know, put yourself out there, right? Put yourself out there, because like literally that's what the divine has been insinuating me to do, right? Like if you go into my YouTube videos, you can see like I only have like literally 30 something videos, right? And like, but the moral of the story is, can I love myself and put myself out there into the universe, right? To give myself space to love also for my spiritual form as well. Can I be free and reimagine before the destination of that new timeline forming in this existence? Like, can I live within that void of that space to love myself in that deepest root of who I am, right? And that's what I'm getting in this message. And the guidance forward with the movement is this message is calling forth signals to be risen, to hear the frequency of love that has been paused for this moment, to become aware of our patterns before you create a new timeline within your story of existence? Are you ready to start this new change, to feel as your spirit is filled by the void, that your heart is speaking in signals to your consciousness? Consciousness of safety, to finally reveal you as you are a spiritual being, giving love to your inner space between both worlds. Because like I said, we are living here in this existence of life, but we are also living in other existence of realities as well. This message has appeared when you are entering a new phase of dramatic changes that aligns with your higher purpose, a loving space to prompt to finally release outdated habits, relationships, or mindsets that no longer serves your growth, right? Take action that is needed. Space within this void for loving growth and new self-adventures that your soul is integrating with the divine that is right now being proactive as the necessary life changes are being adjusted in your incoming changes in your life. The divine creates these spaces between timelines, right? Just for you to become more secured in your safety, as the spiritual world is also our home as well. To your inner soul, this message is to spark a wake-up call to deepen your spiritual practice, trust your inner wisdom, and align with your true life purpose, right? Because only you knows your true life purpose. I'm only here to deliver this message, but you know your true life purpose. You are encouraged to keep your thoughts positive, to attract favorable outcomes, and you are currently manifesting your reality that is the deepest form of love without a visible picture to this form of existence, but living in the deepest parts of your connection with the divine. A reminder to remain confident that you are always supported by the divine, and the unwavering support of your guardian angels, right? 14:34 on the timer, 1:43 on the timer. Love is everything. This is my question to you as a divine messenger. Are you able to expand your consciousness to become a stronger influence to this world, as the divine is giving you this moment of inner peace, right? To fill the void, as you are filling the void of this space within, as you are pouring love to be heard beyond space and time, an echo of love to be heard as a frequency, to shine light within the realms of this universal, of this timeline, of this universal timeline. Okay, so this is the message for everyone. It's a message for, like, you know, the leaders, because, you know, ones that are being called to influence this new world is to spark inspiration, to be heard, right? To be seen, to be felt, to be risen at this moment, right? But this is also a message for ones as well that are, you know, feeling that void, right? Feeling that space that the divine has created for you, so you could love without having a significant other being by your side, right? Because at this very moment, love is being spoken in different channels of frequencies at this very moment, right? But can you love without a form? This is the main message. Can you love without a form, even if there's different channels of frequency of love being spoken at this very moment? Can you create that frequency of love in your life to be heard, right? To be heard, even if there's different channels of frequency of love being spoken at this very moment, right? And I literally did not plan like to give extra, but this is like the divine speaking through me at this very moment. So, can you love as a frequency without a form, right? And can you love to be freely as a frequency, right? As a spiritual frequency without forms of barriers, even if they are not barriers of safety, right? Because having a divine creation of a form beside you is a form of a barrier of safety, right? Because there's another one pouring love into you. But can you pour love into yourself, as yourself is a spiritual form, right? Can you project that love to be freely as a spiritual form? Again, this is a message for the leaders, right? Of this new life that we are here to build at this very moment, because we are the influencers, we are the, you know, the chosen ones to, you know, hold this torch of inspiration of that divine light within our life, but also to be projected in the universe as a guiding light, as that loving light, as that frequency of light. And it's also a message for ones. Can you create that light for yourself, even if you don't have one beside you? Peace and love, love and light.